Hello, Blodes and Sisters. Welcome to the Afri Talk podcast, where we come together as a community to discuss, learn from one another, and share our experiences as Africans in the diaspora. And my name is Jackie. Thank you for watching my previous video, listening to my podcast. If you've not had the chance to, I'll put a link in the description box so you can go and listen. If you grew up in Africa and you came to the West at a young age and you want to share your experience or your journey, you can send me a DM at afritalk_pod, or you can send me an email to afritalkp@gmail.com. I always have to think twice. And then I will have a conversation. So on this week, I have a guest, and we're going to talk about his journey here in the West. Welcome, Nyamekye.
Good evening, my sister. I hope you're doing well.
Good evening. I'm doing well too. I hope from your side too. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Nyamekye. I'm a photographer. I'm a lot of things, but people know me as a photographer. So let's just keep it that way.
Keep it that way. Okay. Yeah. Where do you live currently?
I'm in Belgium.
Belgium. Okay. And where were you born?
I was born in Ghana.
Up until what age did you stay there?
I stayed up there till the age of 12. So 11, 12.
Yeah, 11, 12, just like me. Funny. Where did you live, and how was school? How was the area? How was family? How was life in Ghana?
Actually, life was not bad in Ghana because I had most of my family members around me. My grandmother, my uncles, my aunties. Everybody was basically around me, except, of course, my parents. But that wasn't really a big problem for me. But yeah. It was a good life back in the days.
Okay. Yeah. So if I understand, so your parents were not with you in Ghana at that time. They're already in Belgium.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had to stay with family.
I had to stay with family for almost 10 years.
Did you know that they were not like your real or your biological parents? Were you aware?
If you are born in a household, of course, when they tell you these are your mom and dad, you know, okay, these are your mom and dad. Mm-hmm. you don't want people coming to you and telling you they are not your biological parents, or you are born into a family and you take everybody as who they are. My mom had a sister, and I mostly used to call her mom or mama, but of course, I knew I'm a very, very intelligent guy. Of course, I knew my mom because my mom left me when I was around 2 years old. So I knew my mom. I knew her face. I knew how she smelled. I knew how she talked. So, and in Ghana, back in those days, they will plan a call with you, just like you are doing right now. Mm-hmm. Like they're doing right now. They'll plan a call with you and they will say, I want to speak to my son, or I want to speak to my daughter, or whatever. And they give you a chance to speak to them. And then they will tell you who they are and where they are and the reason why you are not with them. So I got to know them even when they were not there. So yeah, that is it.
Okay. So at that age, did they, like you said, did they tell you why they left you behind?
No,
because normally, like in our community, parents normally don't like they don't really communicate with us. We just have to take things like they are. You just don't ask questions and you just accept it. So I'm wondering if they told you why you're alone in Ghana and they are here in Belgium, to maybe work or something.
As a child, you mostly don't ask questions in African communities. You don't ask questions. All you do is you accept things the way it goes. And when you are growing up, then you start asking questions. But even if you ask questions, most of the time you don't get answers unless you get to a stage or age where you be like, I want to know it by myself. And you start looking for answers by yourself by tricking people and asking them strange questions. And that's what I did. So I'll be asking questions like,
but why is that? For example, like I honestly still don't understand why, because I also had that experience myself. Like I honestly don't know why people can not just like have normal conversation with children. They think like you're disrespectful. So many things. Like, why do you think that is? Actually, doesn't make sense.
in an African setting, children are not even counted as human beings. Let me put it this way. It will sound very stupid or very strange, but children are not really counted in African settings as humans. They are
Mm-hmm.
counted with the cats and dogs. So if they say sit, you have to sit. If they
Oh.
say sleep, you have to sleep. That is what I know. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, they are taking care of you. So when they say sit and you sit, they say stand and you stand. But at a certain age, you should know that a child is learning at any phase in life. So when they start asking questions, you need to know their brains are developing. So you have to give them answers. Even if you don't have answers, you have to try and illustrate it with maybe um, colors or maybe a story so that a child has something in his mind. In this way, when he or she is growing up, he or she will develop something like, if I ask a question, I will get an answer. But with us, most of us didn't get an answer. So either you grow up and be quiet, either you grow up and try to find things your way. And this is part of the reason why a lot of Africans don't get to where they want to get. But I was fortunate to have my own way of doing things. I used to ask questions. People didn't really like my way of doing things, but my questions were not the like the questions a young guy will, a small child will ask. I'm just going to give an example. I will
Mm-hmm.
go to church and the pastor will be preaching. I will never go to a Sabbath school or a Sunday school,
It's Sunday
as you
school.
guys, as you guys call it. Most of the time, I was sitting with the elderly people just to hear what they have to say, and I always challenge them with whatever they are saying. So if they say, "Yeah, Jesus was walking on water," I ask them, whom of you of all, let's say, who in this room can walk on water?" And most of the time, nobody raises hands. You see, then I
Mm.
knew, okay, this Jesus must be different from all the people in this room. So when they are talking about Jesus Christ, I know, okay, none of you is like him. So I can't trust you all. I can only trust that Jesus you guys are talking about. So this is how my
Mm.
ideology was.
Yeah,
Not that I
I
was wiser
understand.
than other kids, but I developed this kind of question and answer to justify what I know. You see,
Mm-hmm.
but with other kids at school, I used to be bullied because I didn't have a father. When we have this our day or our mother, they will give you food and you just go to the school and eat. And some people, fathers will come and pick them up. Unfortunately, yours was not there, so of course they will bully you with, your dad is not here, you don't have a mother, you don't have a father. But
Oh,
I
how
mean,
did
it
it make you
wasn't.
feel all those times? Because, and I can imagine you also wondering, like, where are my parents? Why are they not here? Why did they leave me behind? How did it make you feel?
You will feel different, but I knew that I had a father. So that was the whole thing. Children will always bully you for you to feel bad. But I knew I had a father, I knew I had a mother.
And you were
But
also in communication with your dad at that time.
the whole time, all the time. But the funny part is that when they are saying that your mom and dad is not here, in my mind, I I just put it this way. Yes, it's true because they are right. They are not here. They are somewhere else. And one day I will see them. Even if it
Mm.
takes 100 years, I will see them. But what hurt me the most was this, that every child, some children will be holding the hands of their parents, or some were picked up and and they can just be in a car with their parents. Meanwhile, I have to travel miles to go to school. So sometimes you'll be going to church alone. So most of your life, you have to struggle alone. And mind you, that is not a bad thing. Most people think it's a bad thing, but that has kept me strong. That's the reason why I am who I am right now, because I have learned that at a young age, being like that, I have developed some kind of protection for myself. And when growing up, yeah, Ghana, I can't compare Ghana with here, but growing
Mm.
up, um, I met a lot of people too. Like I had a teacher, and this teacher, he was basically one of my heroes, he will tell me, your parents are not here, but your grades are good. Your parents are not here, but you are doing well. And so he motivates you to come out great. And I really wish there were more people like him, because with his motivation, sometimes I will get my report, I was TED, or I will be TED, and then I'll be sitting down there, be like, oh, my grandmother is gonna beat me. I have to be first. Oh my God. And then he will come like, you did very well, even though your parents are not here. You still did well. I will run miles because of what he said and go home. Be like, so finally somebody said something positive. And I think that's what we lack right now. People don't get close to people that don't have parents, just or people that don't have somebody take care of them, to give them that encouraging word like, hey, you are doing great. We got you. We know what you're doing. Nobody does that. I can give you an example. I've been doing photography for a long time. For a long time. Nobody has even, I have seen people giving awards, not even one time have anybody call me and say, oh, Nyamekye, you have been doing a great job for 10 years. Let's give you an award. You
Which award?
Exactly. You won't hear it. But that's an example that I'm giving. When you do something good, people need to recognize and say, why are they? Why are they? In this way, people move forward. But as a child, when you don't get that, you grow up, what do you fancy on?
Because you don't learn that at a young age. When you grow up, you also don't give that to other people. Where did you live? Where was this? Which city was this?
I used to live in Kumasi. So yeah.
So you're in Ashanti.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about tribes, you know how people are tribes.
I understand.
I try to avoid mentioning my tribe, because if I mention it right now, people will be like, hey, we did not expect that. So let's leave that tribe.
Let's leave it that you lived in Kumasi, you grew up in
exactly.
Kumasi, no problem. And you lived with your grandmother, and Ghana was cool, Ghana was fine. Okay. Did you always know that you moved to Belgium? Did you had an idea that one day my parents come and pick me up?
I heard my parents always saying, yeah, we'll come for you, surely, but keep on praying. But my idea was not coming here. My idea was staying with my grandmother. So my whole idea was like, I have to stay with my grandmother because she might need me one day. I have to stay here in this country. I mean, I didn't know what is Belgium. If you're in Africa, what is Belgium to you? I don't know what Belgium is. I don't know what Europe is. Me, what is Canada? What do you know? I don't know anything. As a child, you don't know anything. They just tell you and you be like, okay, you suck it in like a sponge, like I said, and everything.
Oh, you see it on TV.
Yeah, they show you pictures. This your dad. Look, he's here. This is his picture. He's in somewhere in Europe. You'll be like, hey, wow, he's wearing very big clothes. So, and then you'll be like, okay, so why is he wearing this clothes? You'll be asking questions, but again, you don't get answers. So you start fantasizing, okay, this. But I never had this idea that I will be here. Honestly, if somebody had told me your parents will come for you and bring you to Belgium, I would say the person is a liar.
So at what point did they tell you that they were coming for you?
Well, they did not actually tell me that they were coming for me. They were always saying it on the phone, but they did not tell me, okay, we will come for you next year or this year. There was just one day that they said, okay, pack your bags. The plane is ready. Your papers are ready. You have to go to your parents. And even coming here, I didn't take a lot of things. I took a shoe.
Wait, just like that?
Just like that. I took a shoe. I took clothes. I took my toothpaste. I took my camera, my first camera. I took, what did I take? Paper to write things. And basically.
The same day? Or
yeah.
So they told you the same day that you're going to Belgium and the same day you left?
Yeah, the same day that they said you have to go to your parents, and the same day they brought me to Accra. The next day, the flight was ready. I left. So
how did it make you feel? How were you
Traveling
feeling when you heard you were going to travel? Like, were you in a way happy? Like, hey, at least I'm going to, paradise. At least I'm leaving this hot Ghana,
happy. Happy. Me in Accra, I don't see aeroplane in Philly, like front of me.
Mm.
So I didn't know what an aeroplane was. I didn't know where I was going.
Mm.
All I knew was that I was going alone. That was a fear, going alone. I have never gone anywhere alone apart from walking to school and coming back home. But this time they said you are going to your parents. Don't know where they are, but you board in the plane. Um, they give you this air hostess or whatever they call them to guide you. And
Mm-hmm.
so, to me, every time if the first 1 minute to 1 hour that I was sitting in the plane, they said if you need something, press on this thing and we'll come to you. I pressed it like 100 times.
Ah,
Are we there yet?
ah,
Where are my parents? Because as a child, what do you know?
oh,
They didn't tell me it's gonna take 6 hours, eight
villager.
hours, 8 hours to get there. And the plane, I didn't know why it was in the air. All I knew is that it is in the air, and people were not talking. Nobody was saying anything. Meanwhile, I'm there thinking, okay, so all these people are going to Belgium. All these people in the plane are going to Belgium. Some are old, some are young, and me, this small guy, I'm also going there.
From Kumasi.
What, what am I going to do there? I saw
I can
people.
understand that you were afraid because, yeah,
Of
nobody was
course,
telling, no explanation, nothing.
nothing,
Just
nothing.
pack your bags, you're going, and all of a sudden you are somewhere that you've never can understand. Yeah, communicate, African people and communication. Oh.
Yeah, they took you there. Okay, okay. You will be like, okay, you had something, a view in front of you. I'm going to my parents. I'm going to my parents. I'm going to my parents. So that was my whole question. Like in the plane, I was asking, so where are my parents? Are we almost there? Where are my parents? I want to see them. So yeah, that's the whole experience. At the immigration, they will ask you questions, and to be sure if you're not being, how do you call it, human traffic, things that were going on that moment.
Mm.
So that one was also there. That took me almost 3 hours to get out because you needed to be sure if your parents are not criminals,
Yeah.
that they are who they say they are. So yeah,
But when you were on the way from Ghana to Belgium, were you expecting anything? How?
I didn't prepare for anything, to be honest. Um, I didn't even prepare to. I wasn't ready. Let me
Mm-hmm.
put it that way. I wasn't ready to be in a different country because even the first day that I landed in Belgium, I started missing my grandmother. So being with your parents and missing your grandmother, because I used to pray with her every evening. Came to my parents, it totally changed. They didn't know that I used to pray with her every evening. It totally changed. And then my parents, we used to pray every morning. So I had to get used to waking up every morning. But with my grandmother, it was praying every evening. So you can imagine your whole life changes. It's I don't know how to describe it, but
Yeah, that was
nobody
going
did
to be
even
my next
understand.
question. Like, as a young child of 11, 12 years old, moving from Ghana to Belgium, how was it? How did your life change? How was life? Were you happy? How was things?
Of course, you will be happy to see your parents and hug them and actually start crying and noticing, okay, they did care about you, just that the time was not there. They told you, they told me, yeah, we couldn't come because of this. They show you all the things, the symptoms, let me put it that, of the sickness that was here. So they will show you this is the reason why we didn't come for you. So don't blame us. They will make you feel comfortable at home. And this is normal. It's a good thing. But one thing that people don't know is that as a child, you are traumatized by all these things. You want to understand. First of all, you don't know why they left you where you were, and they gave you people to take care of you. These people also, you left them. Imagine you left these people that were taking care of you. Start missing these people that were taking care of you. You come to a foreign country that you don't even know the language. You don't know what they eat. At a long while, I was asking, so where are we going to buy a mutu? When are we going to buy jollof rice? They told me they don't sell jollof rice around here. You can't even go to somebody's house. You were like stuck. One thing that
Mm.
really annoyed me was when I came to Belgium, 6 o'clock. Not even 6 o'clock, but it was 4 o'clock, and it was already dark. I was like, no, it wasn't dark. It was light. No, in the evening at 10 o'clock, it was still light. I was like, which country is this?
And which season or what season did you come?
It was around March. It was around March.
Okay, so
Around
yeah.
this same time. You see that now,
Yeah.
even now, you look outside. I don't know what time it is,
It's still
but
sunny.
it's still sunny.
Yeah, it's still sunny.
I really didn't like it because I couldn't sleep. Ghana, 5 o'clock came, light off. Don't know if God off the light or if the devil off the light, but it's off and you can sleep. But here, I mean, look at now. What's the time? I think it's almost 9 o'clock. It's still sunny. It's not healthy for a child to sleep while it's still sunny. So yeah, you can imagine a lot of changes. Not even the weather. The weather was if you come here, you think this weather I will get used to it. Not knowing you are breathing in sicknesses. Not knowing you will get sick later. Your back will be hurting you. You'll be like afterwards.
The
Wear a
sick,
jacket.
yeah.
He was like, no, I'm not gonna wear a jacket. You don't have friends. You missed your friends. I missed my teacher, the one I was talking about. I missed one of my best friend, Edward. I can't call him because I didn't even know his number. I missed my church members. But who do you have to go and talk to about all these things? The people you miss. You barely speak your own language in a school. You go to a foreign school where everybody is different. All the people are white. All you see is white people. Meanwhile, back in your country, all the people you saw was black. And you can talk to Kojo, hey, Kojo, oh, yeah, I'm born so. But you couldn't do that anymore. You come to a place, you are discriminated, you get into a school where all the kids are watching you anyhow. By the way, I was the only black guy in my school.
That makes it even worse.
Exactly. So I had to do my best. I had to actually do 14 times what white people does to prove myself worthy of being in the school, And that also, I think my parents did well by putting me directly into a school where only white people were, because I didn't felt like I'm competing with them, but I felt like I have to be better than them. And that is something that actually also helped me to grow. Yeah.
But at this point, when you were going through all of these things, were you able to like talk to your parents about it, and were they maybe understanding? Were they helping you to maybe get over these traumas? Were they helping you in a way?
When I was at 12 years old, what do I know? Nothing. All I know is that my parents came for me, and I'm grateful for them for coming for me. But talking to them, already they had issues. They had paper issues, like Ghanaian people have, like, how do we survive here issue. Yeah.
They're thinking
So
of something. Could you this your feeling? You just be
exactly.
happy and great.
So
Go on your knees every day and thankful and be thankful to us that you've come to abroad. Your life is going to be better. What is feeling? Do you know what is
yeah.
feeling?
So as an African child, as a young boy, you don't question. You don't question your parents. You just be thankful for the sacrifices they have made for you, because if they are not there, you're not there. But there was some moment that I felt bad at school, and of course I'll go to my parents and tell them I'm not feeling well at this school, and then they'll tell you, you want us to change the school. You don't want to change the school because also there you have learned to know new people. So honestly, it wasn't easy.
Wow.
When people see you as a young guy that came from Africa, you grow and you have become now what you are. They think you had it all easy because of what they see. But we have gone through a whole like a whole I don't know, a whole ride of horrors before getting where we are.
Exactly. And also for you, for example, it was also not easy. You lived in Ghana without your parents. You've never met your dad before, and all of a sudden, you are here, and all of a sudden, this is your dad. Like, also, how do you start building a relationship with him?
Well, I knew my dad from pictures, from
Mm-hmm.
from images that I saw, and that was my superhero, you know. And meeting him was great. Like the way he will lift you up and tell you I've missed you and all that. It was a great feeling because, yeah, as a child, like I said, you want someone to hold your hand. Keke. You didn't have it. Now you have it. But then you have to start bounding with them. And
How
that's
was
where
that? Because
and
you
that's
didn't
where
really live with them, and your mom left when you were young, so you didn't
yeah.
really like have that kind of relationship. It's not like today's day that you have WhatsApp, you can be calling 24/7. So how was your relationship with them? How did you guys, eventually bond together?
Well, it started by because when I came here, my brothers were already born. So
Mm,
I had two other brothers and I was the eldest. So I wasn't really bounding with my parents more, uh, but I was listening to their advice. So do this, do that, do that. I started creating a bond with my brothers because they were on the same level with my understanding, and they were teaching me the language, and they were taking me places like school and all that. Here is this, here is that. They will show you. You can go here, you can do that, you can do that. It was fun to bond with them. But then at a certain age, I think when I was 14, I needed more attention from my parents because you become a teenager and you start to understand the world differently. They start teaching you strange things in the school. You need to come home and tell your parents, for example, sexuality. Why are they teaching me that? They gave me this. What should I do with it? And African parents, sexuality is a taboo. We don't talk
mm,
about it in the house. So, but the white people at school, they will teach you all these kind of things. As a young guy, you're like, okay, so what was the reason for them teaching you this? We don't do that in Africa. Don't do
true.
that in Africa. So why are they teaching me these kind of things? You ask a question, yourself question, but then you go back like, let me talk to my parents. Maybe this school is not good for me. But you talk to your parents and they tell you it's a normal thing. Oh, that's the white people. That's how they do their life. Oh. But don't do it. You see? So it's like you go back to um, they want you to belong to the new place you have come to, but they don't want you to act like the people that
The
you have come
people.
and meet. Yeah, and it's good some way, but it's also not good some way because it's like something is hidden, something that they are hiding from you. Yeah, so
Okay.
life wasn't easy for me.
For me, for example, when I came here, all I was hearing was the advice people will be giving people from church, people from the community is this born in Ghana children. Now that you've come here, don't behave like other children. No, even though this is a free country, don't think you have it all. Or, I won't be surprised if you also become bad like the other children that they are who are brought from Africa. You better listen to advice, things like that. Well, did you also have like those kind of advices or judgment, I actually normal call them? Do you have people around you who are saying stuff like that?
Of course, you will have people around you that will be saying, yeah, the kids that were brought from Africa, their minds, when they get here, they don't focus on school. They want to do this. They want to have bad friends. It is unfortunate. Me, I never had friends. When I came here, I never had friends. My only friends were my brothers. But I didn't really have friends like, okay, I'm going to play with this white guy in his mother's house. That was not done. And so I'm not talking for everybody, but there are some people, for example, if where we were living, where my parents were living, was a total village. So all you see is white people. But then you have some people that go and live in a community like an African community or Moroccan community, or and then they start associating themselves with the Africans, you see, and then before you know, instead of being a good boy, you start roaming around with these G unit people, these gangster
Mm.
boys. And of course, instead of focusing on your schooling, you'll be focusing on, let me go and see this friend, let me go and see this friend. I think I should be grateful for my parents for not taking me to, let's say, in a city to live in a city.
Yeah,
But I think
where were you guys living at that time? Which city?
we were living at what they call it Oostflanderen. That is Belgium. They have this Antwerp, and then they have Brussels, and then they have Oostflanderen. But Oostflanderen is mostly, let's say, Bosgemeente. It's like is pure village. In Ghana, we
Okay.
say Ekurasifon. So
Okay.
that's where I
Deep,
used to
deep
live.
village, pa. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So you have
Our
small schools and all that.
I would like us to talk about the I wanted to say taboo, but it's not really taboo. I would like us to talk about the whole ideology about children who are brought from Ghana. It's a bad idea, or children who are brought from Ghana need to be treated differently, or like extra people need to be, the parents need to be extra hard on them, else they'll go and come home, they'll come home with pregnancy, or they'll go and join gang, or they'll make the investments spoil or whatever. I want us to talk about that, and I want to know from your side, point of view, what you think about all these things. But that will be in the next video. That will be next week. So please, please, please do subscribe, click on the notification bell, like and comment, and share this video with everyone you know. And next week we'll be back with a continuation of this interview. That's all I have for you. Thank you, Nyamekye.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.